YouTube, what's good? It's been a while, and before we actually get into today's video, I would like to say that, well, obviously there's a lot of nasty stuff and really shitty stuff happening in the world right now, and I sincerely hope that my channel is some sort of outlet or escape for you to just ease your mind and just take your mind off those awful things, and just feel free to reach out to me whenever you need to ask stuff about photography, or to just like chat or just chill out. Always feel free to DM me on Instagram, and I'll promise that I'll get back to you. Today's video will be about a couple of photo shoots I did a few weeks ago with Irish and Carolina. So I've actually shot with Carolina in the past, and I actually posted a video about it, and I'll link it somewhere in here. And this was actually my first time shooting with Irish, although we've been following each other on the socials for quite a while apparently. So I'm gonna start by showing you the images that I made with Irish, and these were all shots in the house that I was living back in Coimbra. Yeah, I moved again, but we'll talk about that maybe on a different video. And they were actually all shot in the same day using 4 different areas of the house. So we actually shot in the back garden, in the garage, and in the living room, and in my old office, using these lights that I'm actually using today. By the way, let me know what you think of the lighting situation. I just felt like messing around with the lights, and I have like a orangey light on my left as a key light, and I have like a filler on the right using a red gel. I think it looks cool, but I'll see it in post. Anyway, we started by shooting in the back garden, as I mentioned, and I knew that I wanted to include the tangerine tree that I used to have in the garden, because I knew it would give some sort of like pop of color because of all the orange from the tangerines, and it would bring sort of a nature touch to what is somewhat a really plain location because of the garage door and the old cemented buildings. And because they looked really dull, I thought the color contrast would look good. I also ended up using a chair to change the perspective and the overall flow of the shoot in that area. And I think these first photos in this first location actually turned out good, although the light was really harsh, but we couldn't switch locations because that one definitely had to be the first, because although it had the harshest lights, it was also the first location to lose lights around the house, so yeah. Next up, we moved to the garage area, and there was this patch of lights that I wanted to shoot with for like the longest time, which was right on top of the garage door, and the light used to come through in this really cool hazy way in the afternoon. And the shots that I made there were actually some of my favorite from the entire shoot, and I think the outfit that we chose really went well with that location and light, and it just made Irish look really badass. The lights in conjunction with the dust in the air in this location really worked out great, and I love the particle feel that I managed to get in the images, which really enhanced the look and feel that I was actually looking for. For the second last look, we actually went upstairs to my living room, and because this house was really old, a lot of the furniture that was there was actually from the 70s, and Irish really enjoys the 70s, and I wanted to do a sort of a 70s themed shoot with her, and I thought the living room turned out really great to make these images. And we messed around with the furniture, and Irish actually got some vinyls with her, and we used those as well. And we actually used the corner lamp from my old house and the sofa. Finally, we shot in the office. This was the last location of the day, and I used and actually shot the first time with these lights that I mentioned before, and I didn't actually know what I was trying to go for. This was literally planned on the spot. I messed around with the lights and I ended up using a combination of like dark blue and red, similar to the look that you get with those old carton 3D glasses, the really cool ones. And honestly, I think that these actually turned out really good as well. In some of these shots, I actually decided to include the lights that I was using, and I decided to shoot from behind. And I thought that it would actually bring out this behind the scenes look, especially because my old office was quite small, and I think this perspective actually turned out good as well. A few days later I met up with Carolina, and we ended up shooting at this really cool location in Coimbra that I drove past several times and that I wanted to shoot at for the longest time. So I decided to message Carolina, and she was kind enough to take the train from Porto to Coimbra. We met up and we ended up shooting there, and all of the images were shot in the same location, and the only thing that changed was the light throughout the afternoon. We started shooting at like 5 p.m. I think, so we got a bit of harsh lights between 5 and 6 p.m. and then we got golden hour, and I think we also shot a few images at blue hour, although I don't know if I'm going to include them in the video. My concept for this shoot was for her outfit to actually change throughout the shoot and throughout the sequence of images, and I basically wanted to do some sort of images with body shapes, which is something that I really enjoy seeing from other photographers. And yeah, I just wanted to do my take on this type of images, and I think that she nailed it and she did a really amazing job. Carolina has quite a grungy vibe, and I think the outfits that we chose and the looks that we chose actually fitted her personality perfectly. If you're wondering which gear I use to shoot everything that you've seen so far, so the camera is, as always, my Fuji X-T4, which is the camera that I'm using to record this video right now, and all of the B-roll was shot using my 16mm 2.8, which is also the lens that I'm using right now, and it's the lens that I use to shoot pretty much all of my YouTube videos, and all of the photos were taken with my 35mm f2. So I think we're now reaching the end of the video. Before you go, I would like to ask you to drop a comment down below and let me know if you had any favorite images from both sets and locations, and let me know of any future videos that you would like me to bring to the channel as well. That's it for now. Until next time, bye bye.